My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
All right, guys, welcome to Property Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Kaminsky, filling in for Dave Dubow. And have you ever wondered how a DIY remodel turned a property into a real estate jackpot? Today, my guest, Daniel Ellington from Chicagoland, shares his journey from credit struggles to ambitious goals of owning 20 doors and likely more. Daniel, welcome to the show. Excited to dive into your transformative real estate experiences, man. How are you?
Thank you, Bryce, man. I'm glad to be here, man. So much.
Yeah, so let's start with, this is just a personal curiosity. What is this Chicagoland? Define Chicagoland, because I know Chicago, but what is Chicagoland? Is that like the greater Chicago area?
Basically, yeah. In Chicago here, you have Chicago in the suburbs and basically Northwest Indiana, which kind of touches up on Chicago at the lake. So all of that is what they consider the Chicagoland area. We all get the same television and the same type of ads, you know what I mean? If you're targeting somebody with marketing, that type of thing.
Chicagoland. Yeah, because I remember when I was driving through to Cleveland, Chicago was the most insane interstate in all of North America. When I was on there, and I can't even remember, it's like 7. It's much like the one out of Miami, but the one out of Miami is not. It's way more chill. The one in Chicago, I think we were going through Chicago at like 6 o'clock too. Yeah. So it was like all the lanes full, the top lane, people were just flying. We had to get into the other lane. I was like, I don't think my car can go this fast. And you see some people just flying. Like Chicago was the craziest piece of interstate in all of my travels in America. So
this is true.
Hats off to you to drive that every day.
It's funny when I went to college down south, all of those circular cities, it's a lot easier because you got different ways you can go. Here in Chicago, everything's going to the center in the city. So that's why the traffic is just, everybody's going to the same spot almost. So it's kind of makes it really crazy.
And it's all down that one corridor with the huge wall in between so that the cars don't careen off and hit the other side of traffic. So yeah, Chicago, how many people in Chicagoland? You had to guess. I'm not going to hold you.
If I had to guess, it's like 5 to 7 million because there's like 3 million.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, Miami's like 12 million. So that's like a pretty big area. So you got a lot of opportunity, a lot of properties to renovate, especially being Chicago's. A lot of that property is 100 years old. Chicago really boomed in the early 1900s. So I love markets like that. So you probably see a lot of things to take on, but let's rewind it a bit and take me back to the first property, the first enter. Like, what got you started? What got you excited about actually doing it?
Well, I was a renter for a long time, like most people. And really, my landlord was just crap. I had a bunch of really bad landlords that didn't fix things and stuff like that. And I was like, I could do better than this. You know what I mean? Like I could be a landlord. They don't do anything. I'm paying my money every month and things are not fixed. So when my lease came up on one place I was staying over on Western, I was like, I need to try to figure out and get me a house. And I wanted to do some house hacking, right? Because I'm like, I was already staying in apartments. I could do it again, but just own it, right? So that was what I did. I looked for a 2-flat for a long time, and I was looking for a particular one that didn't really need a lot of work, that wasn't too old. I had a lot of stipulations. So it took me probably 7 to 9 months to actually find a place. One or two of them had fell through. Some other investors had bought them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was actually staying in the hotels for a little while because I thought that I was going to get the house and it didn't go through. And so I was staying in the hotels for a little bit. That was kind of stressful, still looking for houses, but I was just determined. It's crazy. My realtor, when I went to my closing, after I finally found the 2-flat, everybody was there. My realtor, my lawyer, and the finance guy, which he was like, I don't really come to these things, like the closing. My mortgage guy, he was like, but your determination to get this house, like I just wanted to meet you in person and really, be here to like celebrate this for you. And it was actually really awesome day, man. I cried that day.
Yeah, you got into your first two flats, so the other people paying the majority of the bills or all of them, and you're able to kind of live for, I'm not going to say for free because you're ultimately still responsible for that mortgage and such, but it's bringing in enough income that as long as you've got someone in there, you're feeling pretty good then.
Yeah, I would say it took about from paying 100% to taking my payment down to about 25% of the bill.
Yeah.
So a significant, reduction.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So when when you're looking at expanding that, well, let's go to the DIY nature of the business. When you bought that two flat,
Mhm.
did it need work?
It did need just a little work, but just cosmetic stuff. I got like the
Painting
window.
it,
Yeah, I
stuff
got
like
the
that.
windows changed out. I didn't do that myself, but I got the windows changed out. But I really did my DIY when I got my second place. It was a single family home. So
Yeah.
I haven't really done much here. This was kind of just my dipping my toes in the water and allowed me the flexibility to actually get that second place, right? To be able to save up and do it. And yeah, this really jumped off my investing to be able to get into the other stuff.
So are you still at the W-2 or is real estate now your full-time gig?
No, I'm still W-2. It's about half and half right now.
Mm,
I'm looking to get out of my two flat because I still live here, get
mm-hmm.
into a single family home. So then I would have three doors. So then after that, I'm looking to do, other people's money, get the deals really rolling, and get up to 20 doors by the time in about 3 years. That's my plan.
Yeah, I mean, the scale with other people's money is really where things really start to blow up. Um, is it mostly doubles and singles, the number of units you have now, or how many doors do you have under management right now?
So currently, I only have two doors. I got the
Mm,
two flat and I got the single family home, and I'm still staying in one of the two flat. So I technically call that two doors because I don't count
mm-hmm,
my door, right? But in the next year, I'm looking to get out of here, get into my own single family home. So then
mm-hmm.
I'll have three doors, and then I'm looking to acquire a lot more two or four flat properties.
So whose idea is it to move out of there? Yours or you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Well,
my
there's the
limit.
human nature of real estate where it's like the girlfriend moves in and she doesn't want to share the space with the with the other person, and she's like, no one's living downstairs or above us, and then you move into the single family, right? Men left to their own devices would probably live in their parents' house until the day they die, until they move out, and then suddenly we're in our own house. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, you could get start getting some more cash flow out of that two flat now. Um, just for people that out of curiosity for the people living in different parts of the United States, what's the pricing like over there these days?
It depends, always location, location, location. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we do have the benefit here in the Midwest that the prices are not as inflated as some other areas.
Mm-hmm.
They call them the smile states, the sunshine states. Everything about south of the Mason-Dixon line has been really hot lately, right? People
Mm-hmm.
moving
Mm-hmm.
down there. But the good thing about Chicago is we got so much infrastructure here that there's still a lot of people here. We actually have like a lot of millionaires in Chicagoland. So it's really good. If you are in the city up north, in some of the more desirable areas, you're going to pay top tier like anywhere else, like Miami,
Mm-hmm.
Nashville, Raleigh.
But
Uh,
tell me about the cash flow zone. What can I buy? What can I rent it for?
so you can buy, I mean, an average house is going to be two. You talking about for like something to rebuild or something
Yeah,
already
just
done?
tell me about let's run the numbers on your side on your two flat. How much did you pay for that and what's the rent
Okay,
on that one
yeah.
side?
When I purchased my two flat, that was in October of 2019. It was for 140. I
Mm-hmm.
got some discounts and I actually got it for about 132 at the end. Um, and I owe about 120 on it now. And
Mm-hmm.
it's probably cost, I mean, it probably would sell for about 210 to 225 now.
These days, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then my my single family, I got that for 85, and then I put about 20 grand in it, and it's worth about 160 now.
Okay, so still like sub 200 numbers. So you can, and what's the rent like on that single family?
The single family is renting out at 1,600, and the rents over here, I haven't went up on the rents, like 1,300 over here.
Yeah, so 1,600 over what was it, 100, and what were you into the single family for? Like 200?
Oh no, I'm in the single family for about 100.
Oh, right. So
Yeah,
you're like that's like a 14%, 15% cash like a cap rate.
yep.
So yeah, definitely there's cash flow out there, just a matter of getting a little bit more capital um into your position to start buying some more stuff. Now, I probably already know the answer to this question, but Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Unfair Advantage. What's something that you feel like is your secret sauce? What's your unfair advantage? Something that comes easy to you that other people might find difficult to do.
I think the time that I spent that like year trying to find that first deal, I can analyze deals like almost looking at them, because I did so many looking at deals. I did maybe like 3 or 4 inspections. Um, so now I can really just look at a deal, analyze it, and almost know the numbers, especially here in Chicagoland area. I know it like that. Now looking at other areas, I have to do a little bit more work, but I can see a deal and be like, oh man, I know I can make 50 on that easy.
Mm-hmm. So it's like the your ability to analyze the deals is really where you feel like
Yeah.
that's going to give you the speed and you've been able to, hey, look, you've got 14, 15 cap properties already running with your cash that you're into it versus with the rent you're getting. So what is your plan to fund the acquisitions in 2024?
For 2024, I'm getting more investors. Um, People have seen what I've done, saw that I've done it myself, right? And now they're wanting to partner with me. So I'm looking to get a couple more single family homes to partner with people. So then
Mm-hmm.
I can use that money and get me more multifamilies. Because I'm a kind of, my strategy is more buy and hold, because I
Right.
like the tax advantages. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I like to, get quick money too, and that's what investors like, right? If I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
give you my 50,000, I want to be able to get it back pretty quick,
Mm-hmm.
ideally. So
Yeah.
I use the single family homes, or I'm going to use the single family homes with investors to flip those.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Now, as you approach, bringing in partners and doing that sort of thing, what sort of ways are you expanding your network to get ready for that?
uh, like today, like the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start doing up my social media channel, my YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
just networking. I'm already in a couple of like Facebook groups and stuff like that,
Right.
where I network with people, wholesalers and that type of thing. But I'm really trying to get my face out there because people want to work with people they know and like. So I
Mm-hmm.
need them to know and like me.
Yeah, definitely. So, um, when it comes to the deal acquisition, um, what are some tips that you can give someone who's thinking about investing at a distance in Chicagoland? What are some uh, areas that you would say no, and what are some areas you'd say yes for someone who's like maybe either a foreign investor, like a Canadian who's thinking about investing in Chicagoland, or someone who's like in Colorado where they can't buy a door and they want to make some cash flow? What are some tips that you would give them when they're looking at Chicagoland and investing there?
The tips I would say is, let's say, you
Like an
want to
area that I shouldn't buy in. Let's start there. Like where should I not buy a property?
there. Chicago is kind of block by block, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because so like a place like Inglewood, I would say don't buy, but it may be turning the corner, right? Because the Obama library is coming, right? That's going to be open about a year or two. So there's a lot of opportunities where things are turning the corner, and
Mm-hmm.
it depends on. I would say it depends on your risk tolerance, right? If you have
Yeah.
a higher risk tolerance, I would say go to Gary, buy up a whole block because
Mm.
they're like Amazon came over there, right? Did
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So you buy up the whole block in 5 or 10 years, you'll be a millionaire just off of that, and you might have spent $100,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you may have to wait and sit on it, right? If you want to get like the capital appreciation from properties, I would say buy in up north, somewhere in the city, right? Or even
Mm-hmm.
better, the best place right now to buy is Pilsen, um, like Brighton Park. Those areas about the turn. Gage Park, good. These are good areas in the city that are going through transition.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was doing renovations and checking out property down there in Cleveland, it really was block by block. You know, it's the same thing. Like the interstate makes it that you don't have to actually go through that neighborhood because Cleveland's old too. So you just take that highway right through the core downtown and it goes off in all directions. So one block there'd be like some nice houses, the next block over you just don't even want to get out of your car, and the next block over these are all fine houses too. So you know, definitely there's pros and cons to it. So tell me, you know, with all that you've accomplished so far in your real estate, what would you say your biggest obstacle is these days?
My biggest obstacle is, getting the extra capital, right? Like
Mm,
I've got everything else. I can analyze the deals. Um, I got the contractors, right? I got the connections. I know how to do the permits. I've done everything from step A to step Z. Now it's
mhm.
just, hey, people who don't want to do that, you want to make some profit, we can work together. You got the money, I got the skills, and we both got the profits.
Yeah, if you got the money, I got the time, right?
There
That's
you
the old
go.
saying. So, um, when you go to roll out your social media and your YouTube, what sort of things are you planning to kind of touch on, or what's your strategy as far as, you know, what can people expect when they finally get to you, when you finally get that YouTube channel rolling?
Well, what they can expect is just my real world experience. Um, one of the quagmires I had was dealing with the inspector, and then he actually got fired, right, because he wasn't doing right. So in the middle of me remodeling, I had switched inspectors, and they're all different. So just talking about real world experience, and then
Mm-hmm.
I do SEO, so I use what people are already asking on the internet and Google and just regurgitate those answers to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if like Google Trends, I use stuff like that, right? Or I'll just ask my audience, what do they want to hear about? But
Mm-hmm.
house hacking is what I know really a lot about, remodeling and analyzing deals. So I'm going to focus on that and then let people learn and grow with me as I get these new investors and do these new deals. I'm going to be really transparent about it and just let you see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds exciting. I mean, um, I think that's the biggest thing is people want to like see all the good, bad, and ugly. You know, a lot of times you'll it's all good, good, everything's amazing. But what about the times when it's not, you know?
Yeah, well, like I was telling you before, Bryce, we were talking. I'm actually going through an eviction right now, right? Um,
Is
it's
it
my
the
first.
single family or is it the neighbor?
No,
It's the
it's the
person you live
neighbor.
next to. You got to
It's
catch
the
them up.
neighbor, and it's crazy, right? It'll make your blood boil a little bit. They're not paying. You see them give Christmas gifts coming to the house, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and skip the dishes or whatever. The Uber
you
Eats
know,
is showing up, and you're like, "Where's my rent?"
okay, and it's like these are some of the bad times. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I know that it's an investment. For since 2019, I've been getting rent regularly. They didn't stiff me on the rent during the pandemic, anything. So you got to take the good with the bad, right?
yeah. You know, who knows what's going on, or you know why they're not paying or whatever. So, hopefully that goes well. I mean, I believe that the landlord rules are in your favor, definitely in your market, because some markets are hard to get rid of people, but you know, in some of those Midwest, you know, to around the snow belt, you're like right up near the right up there. Um, 5 days, 10 days, like once you get your order and you get your eviction, you know, you can get them out pretty quick. So hopefully that I mean, you don't really want to press on them at Christmas, but
No,
maybe
I'm
they
not
should
worried.
have paid.
I'm
Maybe they
not
should
worried
have.
about it.
Yeah, maybe they should have not paid the rent in July if they didn't want to be out in January. So
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome, man. Now, great. If people want to find out more and connect with you, what should they do?
You should look up Ellington Elite Realty. That's going to be my YouTube channel, and that's where you'll be able to find me online. My website. I'm building it up now. You'll be able to see the work that I did on the single family home, what it went from. There was like carpet in the kitchen and stuff at first.
Oh man,
it was really bad. You'll get to see the whole
carpet in
transformation.
the kitchen. Yeah, carpet in the kitchen, and I've also seen carpet in the bathroom. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. That's
I don't know who did
carpet
it,
in the
but
kitchen.
it's
I've never
horrible.
seen that. Actually, no. My grandma's house had like a really like thin, like it wasn't like a plush carpet, but it had
Yeah.
carpet in the kitchen. You
Oh
spill
man.
something, you're like, oh, now, like now it's ruined. It's pretty much ruined. Like,
I'll tell you what,
I don't know
Bryce,
whose
the
idea that
smell
was.
when I pulled that carpet up was,
Oh man.
oh man, it was the worst.
Yeah, and it's not even like you could clean up a spill. It would just like soak in, and even if you dabbed it out, like carpet is. I look at carpets and rentals like tarps, like
Yeah,
you're gonna have to pull this tarp on the next tenant. You just
yeah,
change the bedroom only, and oh, the hallway's okay. Just change the bedroom carpet, right?
yeah. Stick to vinyl, man.
Yeah, and click and all this stuff,
Yeah,
just keep it clean. So yeah, I really appreciate your time, and good luck with the capital raising and on to the next venture, man.
I appreciate it, Bryce. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.